Hello, hello, hello. It is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3, aka True Hill Heat's best disembodied voice for our second to last on the channel year end list for 2023. Yes, it is True Hill Heat's best male wrestlers of 2023. Men are a strange creature that we always don't appreciate or take praise too kindly. We're weird about it. We're strange people. But we are here to praise the best male wrestlers of the past 12 months. This is our opinion based on the votes voted on by us here at the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel, our esteemed cast of colleagues, my esteemed cast of a team here on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel, as well as some of our Patreon backers, as well as some of our friends across the wrestling media world. So, without further ado, let's get into a few of the honorable mentions. First up, you got Alex Shelley, who received 2 nominations. Alex Shelley was the Impact World Champion this year, winning it for the first time. Also winning the Impact World Tag Team Championships alongside Chris Sabin in the Motor City Machine Guns. We also got John Moxley, who received 5 points overall. John Moxley winning the AEW International Championship this year, as well as his great rivalry with Hangman Adam Page, a part of the Blackpool Combat Club and Elite storyline as well. And then one final honorable mention, Switchblade Jay White, who made the jump over from New Japan Pro Wrestling to AEW, going on an undefeated streak that led to an AEW World Championship matchup at AEW Full Gear, but a great start to his run over in All Elite Wrestling. But let's get to it. Once again, this is voted on by us here at the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. This is just our opinion by the votes casted by our esteemed cast of characters here on the channel. This is not the list, so let us know your list. Who do you think was the best male wrestler of 2023? Let us know in the comments or in the live chat, however you want to do. And remember to drop the thumbs up on this video. Share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. But first up, coming in at number 10 on our list of the best male wrestlers of 2023 with 9 points overall, 3 nominations overall. We have the former NJPW World Television Champion Zack Sabre Jr., who won his inaugural NJPW World Television Championship on January 4th at Wrestle Kingdom 17 and went on to set the modern day record for the most winningest champion in New Japan Pro Wrestling history with 16 successful title defenses in the year of 2023. Classic matches with the likes of Speedball Mike Bailey, Tomohiro Ishii, Tom Lawler. The list goes on and on. He had an impressive performance in the G1 Climax tournament with some great matches against the likes of Hiroshi Tanahashi, Tetsuya Naito, and Kazuchika Okada. And of course, he had a gem of a matchup, a couple of match of the year candidates, including over in New Japan Pro Wrestling against Will Ospreay in London, England at Royal Quest in the Copper Box Arena. Two of the best British born professional wrestlers in the world today going at it and having a 5-star classic. His contributions to New Japan Pro Wrestling cannot be kind of underestimated or undermined. He was one of the MVPs of 2023 for New Japan Pro Wrestling. So Zack Sabre Jr., number 10 on our best male wrestlers of 2023. Coming in at number 9 on our list here with 11 points overall, including one first place vote. We have the current TNT champion over in AEW, my father of the year, Christian Cage. Christian Cage has been in the professional wrestling business for the better part of 4 decades. but 2023 may have been his best year ever, where he really became the top heel in All Elite Wrestling due to his Father of the Year character, kind of picking on and pointing out all the dead fathers of the superstars in AEW. His rivalry with Jungle Boy culminating at Revolution in a great final burial matchup. From there, he took aim on the TNT Championship through the act of Luchasaurus, his weapon of mass destruction, winning the TNT title from Wardlow on the inaugural edition of AEW Collision, and Christian immediately taking the title from Luchasaurus and claiming it as his own until he won the title in a triple threat against Luchasaurus and Darby Allin. The rivalry with Darby Allin and Sting was great throughout the summer, leading into the fall, where he had the fantastic best 2 out of 3 falls match against Darby Allin at Wrestle Dream, which saw the introduction and debut of his former best friend of 40 years, Adam Copeland. And these two men have had a fabulous rivalry to end 2023 going into 2024 based off of their long-standing friendship and partnership. Some of the best promo work in AEW was done by Christian Cage, just character work, promo work, and even in rare occasions he's probably the star on this list. He is the star on this list with the least amount of matches, but all of them stand out, whether it was against Brian Danielson on Collision or his matches with Darby Allin. Yeah, Christian Cage, you cannot understand like how much he has elevated his legacy with what he was able to do in 2023. So well deserving of being at number 9 on our list of the best male wrestlers of the past 12 months. Coming in at number 8 on our list here with 12 points overall, so just 1 point higher than Christian here on 3 nominations. No first place votes, but 3 nominations, 12 points overall. It is the current AEW International Champion, Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy, man, what a year he's had. One of the most popular stars in All Elite Wrestling, one of the biggest homegrown stars in All Elite Wrestling. There was a portion of this year where I really discussed, is Orange Cassidy the biggest homegrown star not named MJF in AEW? And a lot of that came down to his illustrious reign as the second ever AEW International Champion for 11 months, over 300 days. Orange Cassidy defended the title, and it became a staple of AEW Dynamite to kick off the show with Orange Cassidy's music, and he comes out and has a banger against Daniel Garcia, has a banger against Jay Lethal. He even has good matches with Jeff Jarrett, for Christ's sakes. Darby Allin had a great fighting champion type of reign as TNT champion, but Orange Cassidy took it one step further, where each and every week he was pretty much defending the title. It could be against Big Bill one week, or Jake Hager another week. It's gonna be against your best wrestlers out there, like your Wheeler Yutas. Orange Cassidy was just so great as the fighting champion, and little by little, kind of beating him down, whether it was a title defense against Swerve Strickland or defending the title in a battle royal at Double or Nothing. Little by little, fatal 4-ways at Forbidden Door. The injuries were piling up. The hand injury that he suffered against the House of Black in his title defense against Buddy Matthews. And then it all led and culminated in the early fall, the end of the summer at AEW All Out, when he went against Jon Moxley in one of the best AEW pay-per-view main events of 2023, a bloody brawl that completely changed the character of Orange Cassidy. And a lot of people haven't been taking note of that ever since this matchup at All Out, we don't get the lazy kicks how we did before. He'll start off with the lazy kicks, but he gets more aggressive now. He showed more of an edge since this fight with Jon Moxley at All Out, but that parlayed into a rematch at Full Gear, where Orange Cassidy was able to defeat Jon Moxley. He regained the International Championship against Rey Fenix, beat Jon Moxley at Full Gear, and ends 2023 as the International Champion for a second time. Orange Cassidy, number 8 on our best male wrestlers of 2023. Coming in at number 7 here with also 12 points overall, but this one was on 6 nominations, so more nominations gives it the edge just over Orange Cassidy, another great fighting champion, the reigning WWE World Heavyweight Champion, Seth freaking Rollins. Seth Rollins had quite the year in 2023, starting off the year kind of looking for his pathway, looking for his way to WrestleMania, trying to win the Royal Rumble, where he got the crosshairs of Logan Paul, him and Logan Paul feuding on the way to WrestleMania. He was a part of a tremendous elimination chamber match for the United States Championship, which Logan Paul cost him on the way to WrestleMania. Then his matchup with Logan Paul at WrestleMania was absolutely awesome for someone who's only had about a handful of matches. Him and Seth really delivered one of the better matches of WrestleMania 39 weekend. And then from there, Seth went into the World Heavyweight Championship. It was introduced following WrestleMania, and Seth set his sights on it and was able to accomplish that, defeating AJ Styles at Night of Champions to become the inaugural World Heavyweight Champion. And he has been a fighting champion ever since, whether it's against Braun Breaker on WWE NXT, whether it's his rivalry with Finn Balor in the summer with wins over him at Money in the Bank and SummerSlam, his rivalry with Shinsuke Nakamura when Nakamura was really elevated and felt like the best presentation of Shinsuke Nakamura in the WWE was against Seth Rollins, and the story based on Seth's injured back and the awesome matchup they had at Fastlane in the last man standing matchup, and then his feud with Drew McIntyre to end off 2023. Seth Rollins went from strength to strength, and anyone he worked with, it felt like they were getting elevated or becoming a better presentation of what they were before. I talked about Nakamura, talked about Drew McIntyre. The list goes on and on. Drew McIntyre, Shinsuke Nakamura, Finn Balor. He's had a litany of great matches throughout 2023. Seth Rollins is really the workhorse of WWE, and he put that stamp on that moniker and reputation in 2023. So well deserving of number 7 on our list here. Coming in at number 6 on the best male wrestlers of 2023 with 15 points overall, including 1 first place vote, 6 nominations. We have Swerve Strickland of AEW. And boy, oh boy, is this definitely a second half of the year vote that Swerve got up this high on our list, because his first half of 2023 was really, it looked like we were on the verge of having that big showdown with Keith Lee, which we still did not get throughout 2023. We look like we're on the way to that at Revolution 2023, but that did not happen. On the way to Double or Nothing, though, a big change happened to Swerve Strickland in All Elite Wrestling, where he was aligned with Prince Nana, and the merger of Mogul Affiliates and the Embassy to become the Mogul Embassy really changed the trajectory of Swerve Strickland's career in All Elite Wrestling. He seemed like he was on a good path going into the year, but it really got shifted and boosted with the alignment with Prince Nana, Brian Cage, and the Gates of Agony. It felt like Swerve was being elevated to another step in AEW, and that steps he just kept climbing throughout the year. Whether it was his great performance against Orange Cassidy in the Battle Royal for the International Championship back at Double or Nothing, his fabulous performance against Orange Cassidy for the International Championship on Dynamite, his compelling rivalry with Darby Allin and Nick Wayne and Sting in the summer with the gritty kind of dirty feeling vignette that they filmed back at Nick Wayne's house when they jumped him and bloodied him, and then the coffin match at Wembley Stadium where he was put in the coffin and then put on a trajectory to look at an even higher place up the ladder, where he got into a rivalry with Hangman Adam Page that really elevated both guys. Both guys went up a notch. Swerve went from an upper mid Carter to a bona fide main eventer and future world champion, while Hangman Adam Page, who is kind of like on the downturn of a career where he's been, on this path of becoming a main eventer, becoming a top star in AEW. He became the world champion, but then it was on a downturn, especially after the reunion with the Elite. But Swerve reinvigorated Hangman Adam Page. We start to see the passion in him, and that led to, the the terrific match they had at Wrestle Dream and a all-time classic, the greatest Texas death match in wrestling history, the most violent match on a mainstream professional wrestling company, the Texas Death Match at Full Gear, where Hangman Adam Page was hung by Swerve Strickland, and Swerve Strickland's star became even brighter, and he furthered that with his performance in the Continental Classic, where we go into 2024, and most people are saying Swerve Strickland needs to become the AEW World Champion. What a final 8 months of 2023 for Swerve Strickland, which gets him at number 6 on our best male wrestlers of 2023. But we're into the top 5, folks. Coming in at number 5 on our list with 19 points overall on just 5 nominations. We have the cleanup, Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega had a hot start to 2023. January 4th, Tokyo Dome, Wrestle Kingdom 17. He had one of the greatest professional wrestling matches of all time against Will Ospreay. These two men leaving it all in the ring in a violent, beautiful professional wrestling classic, a masterclass in how to perform at the highest level possible on the highest stage possible. These two men putting on a match that will never be forgotten and still is talked about to this day, more than 365 days later. And they followed that up with one of the greatest AEW matches of all time at Forbidden Door, equally as violent, equally as bloody. But between all of that, Kenny Omega followed up the Tokyo Dome Classic at Wrestle Kingdom 17 the following week, putting on the Game 7 classic against the Death Triangle and the Escalera de la Muerte, alongside the Young Bucks as the Elite, regained the AEW World Trios Championships to win the Best of 7 series. They went on to defend those titles at Revolution in another excellent matchup, an excellent trios bout against House of Black, dropping the titles to them at Revolution. Followed that up with a great 3-way trios matchup against the JAS and House of Black in Winnipeg, which really kickstart the Blackpool Combat Club rivalry, which was one of the best rivalries of 2023 for AEW. So much compelling, captivating television throughout that time, including Don Callis turning on Kenny Omega for him to lose. Another fantastic matchup against Jon Moxley inside of a steel cage, leading to the insane Anarchy in the Arena at Double or Nothing. That led into an equally bloody and crazy and wild blood and guts match a few months later, where the Elite finally put the Blackpool Combat Club away, and then Kenny Omega was able to focus directly on Don Callis and put on another 5-star classic against Konosuke Takeshita. But man, Kenny Omega was all over this year, whether it was in trios matches at All In against the Don Callis family and the Bullet Club Gold, or against the Don Callis family at Wrestle Dream, him and Jericho teaming against the Young Bucks at Full Gear. His fantastic, oh my God, amazing 5-star matchup against Elio Del Vikingo in March on AEW Dynamite. He had another follow-up great matchup with Vikingo in AAA, New Japan, AEW. It did not matter. Despite most people saying this was an off year for Kenny Omega, he provided so much excellent in-ring action, and that is why, for real, his in-ring work is strictly the reason why he is number 5 on our list of the best male wrestlers of 2023. Coming in at number 4 here, we are jumping up quite a bit from 19 points for Kenny Omega to 30 points overall For our number 4 here, on 7 nominations, it is the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson. Another one where I say in ring work was exceptional. But more than that, I feel like Brian is higher on our list than Omega because he has made an impact on not just what we see on screen, but behind the scenes. He's been such an important voice, an important person behind the scenes for AEW and putting them back on the right track and hashed quote unquote restoring the feeling. And despite this man having a broken arm at Forbidden Door, in an excellent matchup against Kashika Okada, or breaking his orbital bone in the fall and missing more than 4 months of 2023, he is on this list because when he was here, he was on, and no one is on the level of Bryan Danielson when he is on, focusing and zeroed in on performing at the most highest level. Started off the year with a great series of singles matches on AEW Dynamite against Timothy Thatcher, against Brian Cage, against Konosuke Takeshita, against Bandito, and one of the best AEW Dynamite matches of 2023 against Roosh to cap it all off before he went into AEW Revolution and put on arguably the greatest Iron Man match of all time against MJF. Took some time off and then was immediately put into another spectacular rivalry with the Blackpool Combat Club against the Elite, leading to the aforementioned Anarchy in the Arena and Blood and Guts matchup. He had that great matchup with Kashika Okada that was kind of hampered by his own injury, but made his return at AEW All Out, filling in for CM Punk after CM Punk was fired, and immediately giving Ricky Starks the greatest match of his career in a 5-star strap match. Bloody, brutal. I was there live. Those strap shots, woo! I still hear them to this day. A month later, he puts on another 5-star classic against Zack Sabre Jr., one of the greatest technical wrestling matches of all time. He won with the strike, though, leaving the door open for a rematch there. And then he capped off the year putting on match after match that stole the show in the Continental Classic, whether it was against Daniel Garcia, Brody King, Claudio Castagnoli, Andrade El Idolo, or Eddie Kingston, twice putting on the match of the tournament with a broken orbital bone. Bryan Danielson is amazing, and to know we found out this year this is his final full-time year in professional wrestling. He showed everyone in 2023 he is going to make every minute of this full-time run count before it ends. Coming in at number 3 on our list here, jump up from 30 points for Brian to 38 points for our number 3 person here, with 6 nominations overall, including one first place vote. It is the former AEW World Champion Maxwell Jacob Freeman, MJF. MJF was the centerpiece of 2023 for AEW. More than even Roman Reigns over in WWE, no company was dependent on one star more than AEW depended and centered everything around Maxwell Jacob Freeman. From his promo work, from his character work, from his in-ring performances, the spotlight was centered on Max. At only 26, 27 years old, he had the weight of the company on his back, and boy, oh boy, did he deliver quite the year. Regardless of the hating, regardless of the polarizing opinions about Max, you cannot deny when he was on another level. We talked about it before. The greatest Iron Man match of all time against Bryan Danielson that showed a different side to Max, him surviving the facial expressions, probably his greatest in-ring performance of his entire career and the greatest match of his entire career. But whether he was on TV in great matches against Konosuke Takeshita or 30-minute time limit draw against Adam Cole, defending the title on pay-per-view in one of the greatest fatal four-way matches of all time, the Four Pillars matchup at AEW Double or Nothing. More of a slow down, old school wrestling psychology type of matchup with Hiroshi Tanahashi at Forbidden Door. His whole storyline, Better Than You Baby, with Adam Cole becoming a baby face and showing a whole different character where he is our scumbag, and all the traits that made him hateable is making the fans cheer for him, and getting small things over, whether it's a body slam, whether it's a kangaroo kick, or the double clothesline, and that leading to the amazing moment, the amazing night that he had at Wembley Stadium, winning the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships with Adam Cole to start the night, and then finishing the night beating Cole in the main event to retain the AEW World Championship in front of 81,000. With Cole getting injured in the fall, MJF put his focus on having more great matches against the likes of Samoa Joe twice at Grand Slam and World's End. His rivalry with Jay White is polarizing, but I think they delivered bell to bell at Full Gear. MJF, regardless of what people want to say to him, he had the weight of AEW on his back, and he kept pushing until the wheels came absolutely off at the end of the year. The Devil storyline, the Adam Cole storyline, time after time, this man carried AEW and well deserved to be at number 3 on our list. Coming in at number 2 on the best male wrestlers of 2023, huge jump up on this one. From 38 points for MJF to 56 points for our number 2 entrant. On 12 nominations, including 2 first place votes, 56 points overall, the current WWE Intercontinental Champion, Gunther. Gunther came into 2023 as the Intercontinental Champion, and a lot of people thought there was times during this year that he had the chance to lose this title. On the way to WrestleMania, it became a triple threat match with Sheamus and Drew McIntyre, and people believed it was Sheamus' time, but they did not know we were going to get one of the greatest Intercontinental Championship matches and one of the greatest WrestleMania matches of all time when these two guys put on a blistering banger in front of 60,000 in Los Angeles, stealing the show on night 2 of WrestleMania, but Gunther coming out victorious. And whether it was on TV, pay-per-view, delivering against the likes of Drew McIntyre, Matt Riddle, and Mustafa Ali, on television, delivering against Tommaso Ciampa, Bronson Reed, Chad Gable, 3 back-to-back-to-back bangers against Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. It did not matter who was across the ring from Gunther. You were guaranteed the match of the night. He is pound for pound one of the greatest in-ring performers in WWE history, and he only signed 4 or 5 years ago. He signed with this company in 2020. It's insane what he has accomplished. He signed with the company in 2019, 2019, and he has accomplished so much year after year, having the match of the year. And then once again, I felt like he did that again with Sheamus and McIntyre at WrestleMania, but it did not matter if it was even The Miz. He gave The Miz one of his best matches of his career. Gunther is one of the most reliable and consistent in-ring performers that has ever stepped foot in a WWE ring. He is on that all-time Mount Rushmore with Kurt Angle, Bryan Danielson, Shawn Michaels, the all-time top workers of all that have stepped into WWE, with Bret Hart, with Chris Benoit. Regardless of how you feel about him, Gunther is the very best in the WWE today. And honestly, if this was just a WWE list, and I wouldn't be surprised if some of y'all are going to comment down below and tell us Gunther should have been number 1, I don't blame you. He had quite the impressive year. But we are finally here at number 1, with only 4 points higher than Gunther at number 2, with 60 points overall, including 6 first place votes on 13 nominations overall. It is Will Ospreay, and man, when it comes to Wrestler of the Year, I always say it comes down to a collection of categories, whether it be your drawing power, whether it be your accomplishments, what you were to your company, your star power, your promo work, your character work, your in ring performance. All of it should be included when we come down to Wrestler of the Year. But sometimes one of these categories can just be so overwhelmingly in someone's favor that it kind of negates everything else. And I feel like that's the case with Will Ospreay this year because he put on one of the greatest in-ring years that we have ever seen. I always talk about it with Jimmy McGraw. There's Flair in 1989. There is Triple H in 2000. There's Kenny Omega in 2018. Kashiko Okada in 2017. And now we add to that list of all-time iconic in-ring performances throughout a 12-month period when we talk and we say Will Ospreay in 2023. I've talked about a bunch of the stuff already, whether it was the two all-time classics with Kenny Omega, arguably the greatest matches in each individual company for New Japan Pro Wrestling at Wrestle Kingdom 17, 6.25 stars rated by Dave Meltzer in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, and 6 stars rated for AEW / New Japan Forbidden Door 2 when him and Kenny Omega were able to top or match their performance at Wrestle Kingdom 17, the Storm Driver, the kick out at 1 on the One Ring Angel, Ospreay putting on his best heel performance. My lord, this is one to rewatch and appreciate what they were able to accomplish in this match, what they were able to accomplish in the Tokyo Dome, and in between all of that, he was still delivering despite getting injured in March and losing a month or two of the year. He was still on point, whether it was against Mark Davis in the New Japan Cup, whether it was against Tai Chi at New Beginning, whether against Hiroshi Tanahashi at Resurgence, against Lance Archer in a fast-paced sprint at Dominion, all leading up to that Forbidden Door matchup against Kenny Omega. But the first half of the year paled in comparison to what Will Ospreay was able to accomplish in the second half of the year. He accomplished so much, including signing a big, hefty paycheck in November when he was revealed as the blockbuster signing for AEW at Full Gear, getting that big paycheck he was talking about the whole year. But after June, after the Forbidden Door matchup with Kenny Omega, man, he put on 5-star matches for like 2 or 3 different companies after that. Whether it was New Japan against Yota Tsuji at Destruction, whether it was against Shoto Amino against Power Struggle, an emotional, dramatic spectacle in Osaka in front of Jon Moxley. So much storytelling elements to that one in what was Shoto Amino's greatest performance of his entire wrestling career. He went and faced one of his idols, Naomichi Marufuji, in an arguably a 5-star matchup over there for Pro Wrestling Noah. Went to Impact Wrestling and put on a 5-star banger, a spot full Excelente against Speedball Mike Bailey at Impact Bound for Glory. My lord, what he was able to do in the G1, against Kashiko Okada, finally defeating him clean in the G1. That great moment of the entire tournament. Him and ELP stealing the show on the final night of block play in the playoffs against David Finlay, and then a 6-star classic against Tetsuya Naito. 6 stars. 5 stars, 5.5 against Zack Sabre Jr. at Royal Quest. This man did not miss, and he hit the target so many times of perfection in a professional wrestling ring. Will Ospreay delivered, but more than that, I talked about the in-ring stuff. He stepped up on the promo work. His bruv promo before All In and that banger against Chris Jericho, the best match Chris Jericho had in 2023. That bruv promo where he talked about the importance of that matchup and delivering in front of his people at Wembley Stadium, that still lives in my head. His promo work in New Japan again after matches, and addressing the live crowd. He is just so confident. He's just on another level. And he's also a draw for New Japan Pro Wrestling. When he was in the main event, 9 times out of 10, it was one of the biggest gates for New Japan of the year, one of the biggest attendance of the year, or he was just on top and delivering at a high enough level that the next one was the highest one of the year because they wanted to see what Will was going to do again. And then what he did on the independent scene over Red Pro and the UK scene, going over to France and putting on bangers against Archer and in the UK against Robbie X and Luke Jacobs for Red Pro. He's always been a draw on the independent scene. He was a draw for Impact Wrestling at Bound for Glory. Will Ospreay really set himself up for what's going to be an even bigger year for his star power and his legacy coming up in 2024. Well deserving of number one on our best male wrestlers of 2023. Well, that is the list, folks. That is it. That is all. I hope you enjoyed our list here. And if you disagree, that is totally fine. That is what the comment section is all for. So head over to the comment section. Let us know who was your best male wrestler of 2023 in the comments down below. We love to interact with all of you. So let us know why you think we got it wrong. We love to interact and let us know down below. Drop the thumbs up on this video. Share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. And if you're new to the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button and hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. There's only one more year-end list for you to enjoy, so come back tomorrow and enjoy our best matches of 2023 list. But until then, it is me, your Tru Heel Phenom SP3. This has been Tru Heel Heat's best male wrestlers of 2023. I'm signing off until next time.